The brief stated, I will create a film sequence totaling no more than 2 minutes in duration that's based upon / influenced by aspects of my textual analysis and my planning. So the aims that I set out to accomplish were a thrilling scene of which tension builds up to a big finale. I decided to go for a chase scene. This accomplished the criteria I wanted and would have been fun to make. When looking at my text analysis, this helped me with finding out what the generic codes and conventions were of my chosen genre. This, plus my own research of other films, I concluded how to make my film look the best way possible to suit the genre. When looking at my focal films, I looked at the micro-technical aspects of the chase scene to find out what I needed to include. Also in my film, I wanted to make people feel tense throughout, not knowing what's coming next. The mise-en-scene is a big part of any production, and especially mine. I will look at the micro-technical aspects including mise-en-scene, sound, editing and cinematography. I will start off with mise-en-scene and specifically location. The first location I wanted from the start of the movie was a family setting. I wanted to include this to give the killer more of a human aspect and for it to become more real. This then gives the film more verisimilitude. This was very successful and looked good, showing that it was a normalised family. This all was very well lit and continued by turning the light on from when it gets dark. Then for the second location, I wanted a dark, scarish place for the killer to hold their captives hostage. The lighting that was used was just from a torch. This made it minimal but very effective. As you can see, the use of lighting is very minimal. This creates a horror thriller aspect. This links to my text analysis because in Wanted, the use of dark setting is key, especially for the bad guy in the truck, making it more mysterious. Another aspect of mise-en-scene is props, and the main prop of the film is the weapon. In both of my text analysis films, they use guns, but I didn't think this was a good idea for my film, so I went with the baseball bat. This is more likely to be found in a house rather than a gun. This worked really well and fit the movie better. The sound throughout our film, or lack of it, created the tension I wanted. In this scene they were eating. Nothing is being said, showing the awkwardness and kind of scaredness of the family. I added the chewing sound in and made it a bit louder so you could tell how quiet it is. There was only one line of dialogue and it was him saying that he had to go. This was mainly done with sound. This is different to my textual analysis because I feel like this worked better than making it loud and theatrical. The song at the end of the film, Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. The diegetic ringtone came on and he hit him with the bass or bat. The song initially made people laugh and then shocked when he got hit by the bat, making them feel a whole range of emotions in a very short space of time. The cinematography is very still and static. This creates a dull and mundane atmosphere. This makes the audience feel like the character, especially in the kitchen scene. The family of the killer don't say anything and you want to see a close-up of their girlfriend's eyes, but other than that they are pretty unknown. The long shots and close-ups in the garage scene show location and also show emotion. This again doesn't link to my text analysis because I couldn't do a chase scene. All the cuts were fast-paced and full of movement, and this wouldn't have worked for my film. I approached my research and planning by finding which genre I wanted to do and looked at what films were in the genre. This helped me find the codes and conventions where for the certain genre, for example, the shot types, what props are used, and what types of editing techniques works best. Another aspect which helped me was looking at other people's short films. By watching them I got some ideas for my film, for example the props and the sounds. The most useful planning that came about when I was filming was a shot list. Though I might not afford it perfectly, it always gave me an idea what I was supposed to do. However, I do wish I did a little more planning before I started filming, just so it made the filming process easier. The main thing I planned to do was a chase scene, but unfortunately this fell through because it was a lot harder than I expected. For example, I was going to create and use a snorri cam. This then created the POV shot I wanted, but it was too expensive and too hard to make, so I decided to cut that bit out and stick with the family scene at the beginning instead. On reflection of my planning, yes, it did turn out differently than I expected, but there was no chase scene. But all of the planning, looking at the genre of other people, short films, it did help me out with the film that I made, even though it was different to what I expected. The way I'm going to ask myself if I achieved what I set out to do is by looking at some audience feedback. As you can see, people are feeling the emotions that I wanted them to. They also really like the film, which is one of my main priorities, that people actually enjoy it. Another way I am seeing if I achieved what I set out to do is by asking myself, did I enjoy it? The answer to that is yes, I really enjoyed making this and crafting the way it looks. It is the best film I have made to date. There are some things that I would do differently if I could. These include choosing the easiest thing to do and not just go big for the first film I make. This in turn would help me with the rest of the course, especially the evaluation. If I couldn't start again and just do another edit, I would try to explain the storyline a little more so some people didn't get confused on what is happening.